for me. Because I used to never get anybody to sign anything, because I thought, people have me sign stuff and they aren't going to know where that is an hour from now. And so, but then I thought, I'm meeting some people that are going to be famous forever. I mean, they're going to be in history books and stuff. And so I started getting them to sign something of theirs. And so I've got a lot of that stuff you can see here in the studio if you come visit us. But with Roy Rogers, he was getting pretty old. And I thought, I don't know if I'm going to see him again. So I said, Mr. Roy, would you sign a hat for me? And he said, absolutely, I'll be glad to. So this is on display out here. It says, to Andy Andrews, happy trigger, Roy Rogers. And I didn't want to say to him, it's happy trails, Roy. Trigger's your horse. But I've got the only happy trigger hat that Roy ever signed, I guess. Okay, let's see some pictures. Let's see some pictures. Who is first on the list, on the picture list?
Oh, sorry, got them on the screen.
I think we have. Oh, now let me say the name before you put it up there. Okay, because that way there might be some surprises along the way. But that's Dave Ramsey. Okay, Dave Ramsey. There you go. That's Dave, and I think that was at his house. I think that was at his house, which is like Nashville is inside his house. Actually, I think so. It's like the entire city of Nashville can fit in his house. The entire Disneyland can fit in the parking lot of Disney World. And I think the entire city of Nashville can fit inside Dave and Sharon Ramsey's house. This next one is somebody that if you don't know, you should know. This is Jason Crabb. Jason Crabb, no, that is Dave Ramsey. There is Jason Crabb. Now, Jason Crabb is a multi-Grammy winner. He is the greatest voice in the world. And you see that UK? Now, Jason is from Kentucky. And so he's a Kentucky basketball fan. But he's smart enough to be an Alabama football fan. So one year, Kentucky won the national championship in basketball. Alabama won the national championship in football. And he won another Grammy. And I said, dude, could you buy me a lottery ticket or something? Okay, now we have my wife, Polly, and a guy who is not me. This is Riley Green. So this is, that's Riley. And you guys know Riley Green. He sold out the wharf not too long ago. Then there's a picture of Adam with Riley over in Panama City. And then the family member that I wanted my picture taken with, this is Riley's dad, Bo. And I'll tell you what, it was a trip. Sitting in that concert when Riley came out, watching Bo and Karen, watching his parents, watching their face when he came out, and there's 12,000 people screaming and hollering. It was great. Okay, so I toured with Women of Faith for like 3 years. I was their token guy. And one of the musicians on the Women of Faith was Amy Grant. Okay, now we were some stop, I can't remember exactly where we were, but it was in Texas. And a bunch of us had gone out to some barbecue place out at a ranch, and I found a guitar in a closet. And I said, here, Amy, play for me. And so Amy said, I can't play. I said, yes, you can. I've heard you play. Just play. And so she played, and I got a picture of it. Now, I brought it home, and I showed it to my next-door neighbor, Brian Backen, and Brian went nuts. I mean, Brian is like Amy's greatest fan. I mean, Brian just went nuts. So the next weekend, when I saw Amy, I had her take a picture like this. And Brian actually has that framed in his house. So hey, I'm sure Vicky walks by it and goes, pfft. But anyway, there's Amy with her tribute to Brian. Now, here is a guy that if you don't live in Europe or the Philippines or wherever, I mean, there are a lot of people know him in America, but here's Don Moen. Don is a singer that, I'm not kidding you, when he lands in the Philippines, he landed in the Philippines one time and there were 1 million people at the airport waiting to catch a glimpse of Don. He is like Elvis in the Philippines. But great guy, songwriter, and musician, and strangely more popular out of America than he is in. But he has over 1 million people on Facebook, and I bet Facebook works for Don. Okay, here is one of my favorite people. Here is Joe Bonzel. Now, Little M, do you see that picture? Okay, I want you to know, because when Little M, when our Gen Z 6-year-old started working here, she didn't know who the Oak Ridge Boys were. And I'm like, what? You know, Papa Mau Mau means nothing to you? But anyway, that was Bonzel. And I love Joe. I mean, I'm just telling you, this is just a great guy. And I worked with him a bunch of times, and, you know, back when I hadn't even done anything, and they treated me just as nice as if I had done something. So, but Joe, Dwayne, Richard, William Lee, they are awesome people. Okay, here is Louis Anderson. Now, Louis and I, we kind of got back together